Welcome back, my friends. Many of you have been asking me recently about protein coffee. What is it? How to make it? All the things. So I figured I would lay it all out there for you and we would go through it really, really fast. So basically, your protein coffee is just coffee and some type of protein. You can do any type of combination that works for you. I have several that I use. I have showed you guys a couple of times in the past some of the different ways, but I'm just gonna go through it. Someone just recently asked me like what the recipe was. There is no real recipe. It's really what you prefer. So if you're a coffee drinker, this probably would work best for you, or in the very least, if you like coffee flavoring. So basically, I'm doing a protein coffee because I already drink a morning coffee and I used to be a big iced coffee gal. Now, if you're not into that type of thing, you might be better off with just some protein and some yogurt or some fresh fruit or even frozen fruit. I do a lot of frozen fruit to make smoothies and stuff like that. I mean, if you can drink it and you like it, just a protein shake. But to change it up and to be sure that I am getting in my 30 grams in the morning, this is how I do it. So this is just what I do. I get in my protein in 3 increments, 30, 30, and 30. So in the morning, I try to get 30 grams of protein. I don't eat breakfast, so this is how I get my protein. So typically, I start my day. I make a pot of coffee. I just make 4 cups, which is like equivalent of like 1.5 coffee cups of coffee. And into that, I typically take my Miralax and I just do a teaspoon, a little bitty teaspoon of Miralax into my coffee cup. I then pour in some hot coffee into my coffee cup, mix that together to dissolve. Now, if you're not suffering from constipation, you don't need the Miralax. I, however, do, and this is my daily routine to keep me with everything moving the way I need it to be. So I do my Miralax in my coffee. Then I open up vanilla protein shake. This is just the Walmart. There's 30 grams of protein in here. I open this. There's caramel, there's strawberry, there's chocolate. So I typically open this. I pour in about 1/3. So this is a larger mug and I just kind of eyeball it and I usually pour in to about here. At that point, I take a splash of Coffee Mate French vanilla. Do you see the theme? I prefer vanilla. Take a splash of Coffee Mate vanilla and I just put in a splash. But again, this is all customizable. If you're a hazelnut guy or girl, go and put hazelnut. If you don't like anything, if you like cream, go and put that. Then I fill the rest of that mug with my hot coffee mixed together, and now I have my morning coffee just like I always did, but it has protein in it. So I'm typically getting between, I don't measure, 7 to 10 grams of protein just in my morning coffee. I stay regular, my body stays happy, and that's how I get my first 7-ish grams of protein in the morning, okay? Hot coffee, done. Now, before I go to work or during the day, probably about 75% of the time, I will have an iced coffee. I just came home from getting my nails done and I just made myself an iced coffee. Today, I was feeling wild and crazy. So there are 3 different ways that I do my iced coffee. And hold on, because I forgot one of those ways. I forgot the most important way and the easiest way. So if you guys have been here for a minute, you know that in my description below, there is 2 different coffees listed. This one I found about a year or so ago, and I absolutely love it. This is Slate is the brand. I did originally buy them in Walmart. You can get them individually, but I buy them by the case direct. They are a little pricey, but this is an easy way to get 20 grams of protein. So if I don't feel like making a coffee, or if I'm gonna be like, I'm going away for a couple of days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I will take 2 or 3 of these with me. That way I can have them in the cooler or the refrigerator. And then if I get into a spot where I'm like, oh, I haven't had anything, I really need to get some protein, I can just shake this up, crack it, and I've got 20 grams of protein and some caffeine. So this is an amazing alternative. Yesterday, I mixed this with some of my other things. It's all customizable, guys. You guys can do whatever it is that makes you happy. You can do that here, okay? This is not anything that has to be followed strictly. This is just finding ways for you to get your protein. Okay, so typically for my iced coffee, what I do to start is, let's see, I'm gonna make my iced coffee. So sometimes I just pour this over ice. I do prefer it over ice, or at the very least, I like it with a straw. I prefer metal or glass. I don't like the taste of the metal in here. So typically I will bring a thing of ice to work with me and I'll pour this over. But if I'm out and about and I'm on the go, I just have a straw with me and then I keep it. I try not to use plastic. My son wants to save the turtles. So Slate is number one. Another option that I don't have is Javvy. I actually have partnered with Javvy. There is also a link in the description for Javvy protein coffee. Comes in a package, and basically what Javvy is some instant coffee and some protein powder put together in a package. And then you take a scoop of that. You also mix that with your protein shake, pour it over ice, and you're good to go. And that is, if you buy the Javvy and you use a whole container of this, that's 40 grams of protein, because each scoop of Javvy is 10 grams of protein already. So if you do it that way, and again, and it's delicious, delicious coffee. It's in the protein, in the description below. You can purchase the Javvy coffee, you can purchase the Slate coffee. Those are all directly through the companies. Now, what I have been doing recently, and I'm really enjoying, this is actually my second jar of this. I found the Nescafe Gold. I like the blonde. I believe that there's also a robust. And what you would do here is you would take a teaspoon of this, and it's just a teaspoon. I mean, look at, I have like a demi spoon here, guys. So there's 50 servings in here. This is $7. It's $6.98, I believe. You take a teaspoon, put that in the bottom, and then personally, I usually have some coffee left over. I just pour a little bit of coffee in and I mix my coffee together, or I use my little frother and I really mix it together. So this ends up being more like an iced macchiato or an Americano or something like that, because I put my espresso in the bottom, instant espresso in the bottom, mix that together with a little bit of liquid, can be water, can be whatever. Again, this is all by preference. I put a splash of Coffee Mate cream into there. Then I fill with ice, and then I fill with protein coffee, protein shake. So typically I would use a big glass and do an entire thing. Today I was feeling a little wild and crazy, and I thought, I had these left over. This was the last one I had. I had bought chocolate at one point. So I opened up the chocolate and I did chocolate and I made mocha. You see, you guys can just mix it up and do whatever you want. So I did mocha in here today. It tastes like something you would get at Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks. It really, truly is so, so good. Now, if you're concerned and you need more protein, you can definitely add protein powder. So if I know that I'm not getting enough protein, or say I'm taking a lunch to work and I know that if I'm taking a yogurt and like I'm the beginning of the week after a shot where it's hard to get that protein in, and I'm gonna force myself to eat a 15 protein gram yogurt at lunch today, 30 grams of protein, I would like to get more than that in. I will also add in some protein powder into my coffee. This particular one is 30. I usually do about half a scoop because these are really big. I'm almost out, but these are like really big scoops. So I usually do about half, and then I would get another 10 grams of protein. Similarly, if I'm buying the Javvy, then I'm getting 40 grams of protein into an iced coffee. And if I do this whole thing of ice, I do like this whole, I usually it'll come to about here because this is a huge cup, but I will make my protein coffee that way. I have also used, I've got chocolate Slim Fast. This is something that I typically would make like a shake in the morning or like a protein smoothie or something like that. You can use chocolate powder. There are so many types of protein powders out there. So if you are an iced coffee gal or guy and you like, you know, I've seen people do like banana bread iced coffee. So you can get your protein, scoop of protein powder, and you can make that any flavor you want. Now you can use protein powder and then use Fairlife milk. Fairlife milk, guys, has 13 grams of protein per cup. This happens to be chocolate. This is what I bought recently for my son, but if you guys have been with me for a minute, you know that I am doing, Fairlife is in my house all the time for milk. So for my teen who works really hard, he's at an agricultural high school, working and walking and doing all the things all day, every day. I try to get extra protein into him. So if I give him a glass of milk, it's like, you know, 2 cups, and he's getting 26 grams of protein in the morning with his breakfast. So Fairlife is an incredible way if you don't like coffee and say you wanted to do a smoothie. Fairlife is a great way to do that. It's 140 calories, 14 grams of protein, 13 carbs, 12 grams of sugar, because again, this is chocolate, but this is a great, great alternative. I was also using almond milk, and I was using the vanilla unsweetened at one point that had, I want to say it was like 8 grams of protein, so not as much protein, but less calories. I don't count calories, I count protein. So to answer the question, what is protein coffee? Protein coffee is just a way to get your protein in the morning. Mix any type of protein and coffee combination, either hot or iced, and you've got yourself a protein coffee. There is really no rules here. When I first began my journey 17 months ago, and I was really struggling with my morning coffee because it was my real vice, I was using Coffee Mate. I was using one of these every week and a half. I was using probably 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup in my glass. It was really, really bad. And while the macros and stuff aren't bad on here, it's 30 calories, 0 protein, 5 grams of carbs, 1.5 total fat. I was using so much of it that it was just empty calories. And I did not realize until I started this journey just how bad my addiction was, and that this was probably contributing to a lot of my issues and inability to lose weight. So at this point, I probably use like a tablespoon of it, and I can go without it. I just prefer it. It's one of those things in life that I like, that it's kind of a luxury, and that's how I like my coffee. But I just wanted to show you that there are just so many different options in ways that you can get your protein in and still make it delicious. So protein coffee, any combination of coffee and protein put together, the more protein that goes into it, especially if you are a coffee drinker. If you don't like protein, find a different way to do it. You can definitely there's so many varieties of the protein shakes. Fairlife are the best. Those I just can drink straight. But the vanilla is really good. The Premier is okay, but I find when I mix it with things, I'm more likely to drink it. So protein smoothies are a great option too. If people have interest in that and they're unsure how to do, maybe I'll do a video there as well. But yeah, thank you for all of the questions and for all of our new subscribers who have been asking about this. I just assumed at this point everybody knew what it was, but when I started this journey 17 months ago, I certainly had no idea what proffee or protein coffee was either. So thank you guys all for your comments, and I hope that this was a little bit helpful. If you are new here, don't forget to go and hit that subscribe button, because we are trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by my birthday, August 17th. So I would love that to be my birthday present. You guys go and you have a fantastic day. I will talk to you guys real soon. And remember, my friends, when you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine. Bye.